Oh, they released new information about the new Apple Watch. Awesome. Let's check out pricing. Okay, Sport Watch. That's pretty standard pricing for a smartwatch, I guess. When considering that Apple's releasing it. Their stuff is usually pretty expensive. Okay, the regular one is definitely pretty pricey, especially if you have a fancier band on it. Don't think I'd spend that much. Okay, let's check out the third model. Dear Apple, what the Hey guys, today we're actually going to be talking about the Apple Watch, obviously. The Spring Forward event has just ended recently, and Apple has given a lot of information as well as pricing information about their new Apple Watch and the various models that they have. So specifically today we're going to be talking about the fitness aspect of the Apple Watch and whether it measures up to other fitness bands. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, normally I wouldn't do this kind of thing, especially since the Apple Watch is a smartwatch, and comparing it to other just like fitness bands that aren't smartwatches is kind of an odd thing to do. But because Apple is touting their watch as the ultimate fitness band, that's why we're going to be making a comparison today and deciding whether or not it really measures up to some of the other fitness bands on the market. So let's get started. Let's start with pricing. Okay, we're going to narrow down some of the models that they've got. They've got 3 models, as I stated before earlier. The Apple Watch Edition is the most expensive, starting at $10,000. Yes, $10,000. It's 24 karat gold, and for the sport purposes, fitness purposes, I would probably say don't get this one. You should probably, to be honest, you just shouldn't get this one, period, because $10,000 is really ridiculous. And if you're considering spending $10,000 on a watch, something is wrong with you. However, just as a note, all 3 models of the Apple Watch all have the same sensors and all have the same fitness capabilities. So if you really wanted to use the $10,000 watch as a fitness band, you could, I suppose. But for practicality purposes, we're going to eliminate this from the list. It's $10,000. You're not going to want to be running around with a $10,000 watch. At least I don't think you do. Okay, so let's move on to the middle model. The middle model is priced at $549. Well, anywhere starting from $549 to $1,099, depending on the band. And because of the price, you might not want to be jogging or playing sports with this one either. And another reason is because this does not have the Ion X glass, as Apple calls it, as the Apple Watch Sport does. It has the sapphire crystal glass, much like the Edition model does, the $10,000 one. Now, the sapphire glass is great for scratch resistance, but it shatters on heavy impact, and you don't want that. And if you're playing sports or anything, you're probably going to hit it against something at some point or another. So you want something like the Apple Watch Sport. So we're going to be focusing on that one, obviously. The Apple Watch Sport is what it's meant for, sports and fitness. It has, well, like I said, the Ion X glass, which is somewhat similar to the Gorilla Glass. It's a lot more tougher, It might scratch a little bit easier. Not to say that it will scratch easily, because it probably won't, but it is a lot more durable than the sapphire crystal glass. It won't shatter as easily, which is good for a sport watch. Also, the casing is made of like some aluminum, some type of aluminum, and it's a little bit lighter than the casing on the other models, which is good because lighter is better when you're playing sports and whatnot and doing fitness. You don't want some chunky, heavy thing on your wrist slowing you down or whatever. It's just kind of a nuisance. So let's talk about the Apple Watch. Let's talk about its features next. The Apple Watch Sport, like the other Apple Watches, have a variety of different sensors. Now, I'm going to be focusing on the fitness ones, the ones that pertain to the fitness aspects of the watch. So let's talk about the heart sensor first. Now, the heart sensor is a great addition. Obviously, when you're talking about fitness watches, fitness bands in general, the heart sensor is somewhat of a new technology coming out. It's in the more premium watches. You use the ones you usually pay a little bit more for. And the technology on these tends to be a little bit hit or miss depending on how they measure, how they gauge your heart rate. Apple, for example, uses LEDs to gauge the heart rate that's on the back of the watch. Now, I don't know how accurate this is going to be. It could be accurate. Who knows? I just know that some other LED technologies on certain other fitness bands have been not as accurate because, I mean, obviously nothing is going to be 100% accurate because the band is going to be jostling around and whatnot. So I don't know if LED is the way to go. Who knows? Apple may have gotten a way to make it work. So we'll see. A lot of times you just have to make sure that the band or watch fits snugly on your wrist. And the other technology is the accelerometer. This is a very common tech within the fitness bands, that other fitness bands in the market. This is accountable for your steps and whatnot, and it lets the watch know if you're sedentary or if you're moving, what you're doing and whatnot. So it gives you a gauge. And this, in combination with the heart rate sensor, it gives you an accurate measurement of how much you're moving and how many calories you're burning. The heart rate sensor especially is good for accurate calorie burning measurements. So another big feature that a lot of fitness bands have, or big feature, is the ability to measure the quality of your sleep. It will determine whether or not you have moved around a lot in your sleep during the night. Now, Apple hasn't really come out and said if the Apple Watch is going to measure quality of sleep. And a lot of people think that, yes, it will have that ability. However, the Apple Watch, while they haven't said the battery life, I think, okay. Now, while no one knows 100% sure what the battery life of the Apple Watch will be, a lot of people think, and I think Apple has kind of mentioned this at some point or another, that it will be a day's worth of battery life. Yes, a day, and that's not necessarily very convenient if you want to wear it all throughout the day. Especially if you're sleeping. You're going to have to, a lot of people charge their phones and stuff at night. So if you're charging your watch at night, obviously you're not going to be having it on your wrist, therefore it won't be able to measure the quality of your sleep. So this might not be practical. So this kind of has the Apple Watch fall behind some of the other fitness trackers on the market. Another thing is water resistance. You have varying levels of water resistance on bands throughout the market. Some you're not supposed to submerge in water at all. Some are splash resistant, meaning you can get a little bit of water on it. It's okay. Some you can take in the shower with you or whatever. Some you can even take swimming with you up to like 10 meters below the surface of the water. The Apple Watch is verified as water resistant, meaning you can get a couple little splashes of water on it, it'll be fine. In that sense, Apple Watch kind of ranges somewhere in the middle of the field as far as water resistance rating. So all in all, this is not a review. This is just an impressions, okay? The Apple Watch is not out yet. Not many people have gotten hands-on with it yet. So this is just my impressions based on the information that Apple has released. So having said that, if you're looking for a smartwatch with fitness capabilities, then this could probably be for you. I mean, it's certainly not bad as far as fitness capabilities go, but I feel like the battery life kind of brings it down a notch in terms of usability and convenience. And I think there are other watches out there, wristbands out there that they can last. Usually, like wristbands can usually last 7 days or a couple of weeks, depending, or even a month. Also, the number of things they can do is somewhat limited compared to some of the other higher end bands out there. So if your focus is primarily on fitness, if you're looking at the Apple Watch as like this awesome fitness piece of tech, you might want to move on to something else, like a Fitbit or Jawbone or something. The Apple Watch, you might want to wait until the second generation to get it. They might have more sensors and a longer battery life. And as we all know, technology is always better on the second generation or third generation. Obviously, it's a great piece of tech. It looks fantastic. It seems to work fantastic. A lot of the different features that are non-fitness related are really interesting. But as far as specifically fitness goes, I would have to pass and pick up. I'd have to say, pick up another band. So I'm ERaege. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this impressions video of the Apple Watch. Leave a comment down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'm ERaege, and remember, you can do this.